Hey everyone, this is Austin-Sensei, and welcome back to, another review of the time. Well, that time I got reincarnated as a slime, and I know I skipped episode 13 for the simple fact, actually, it was, I think, around Christmas, if I'm not mistaken, and I wanted to kind of spend time with my family, as, you get it. But anyway, so, we're back at slime, and I'm just going to say this episode, and this anime so far has been following its source material to just so well, and it just improves on it. And that's, see, those kind of animes, unlike Tokyo Ghoul and some other ones I'm not going to name to piss people off, do it well. That if you're going to take liberties, do it the style of making improvements, not changing something completely that makes no sense. But Slime just says, we're going to do what we want, and it's going to be good, and they do it. But anyways, getting to the actual episode. So, last episode we saw the build-up going to the whole battle, and we all knew Rimuru was going to fight, just to be honest. But we see actually Golmud, or Gomuld, I'm going to say Golmud, and that's how I'm going to say it, so if you don't like that, I don't care. But anyway, so he comes charging into the battle, and he's angry at Rimuru because he wants to take control of the new Demon Lord. And basically everything that happened to, like Sinon and Ben, everything that's happened in the forest is all because of Goldmud. He's been setting this up. He's been playing chess, basically. He calls his people he named, pawns. So it starts to, you start to see this whole thing, and he didn't account for Remoter being in the mix, which is why he's angry. And we hear that Gold is actually the Demon Lord to be, and he was going to be the Orc Disaster. That's his Demon Lord title, and we see that Goldmud actually attacks Gabru, and he starts to say his death is the only thing that's kind of important to him. He should just die, and I'm like, ouch. Ouch. He's basically his father at that point, besides his actual father. He gave him his name. That I was thinking, that must hurt. Oof. And they had the right reaction, because he was just like, oh God, that was, ouch. He didn't know what to do. A poor man. As much as I get annoyed at him, just like Remote, he grew on me. I like him. Good old, what's his name from Konosuba? I forgot his name. Oh my god. But great voice actor for him. But nonetheless, going back, we see basically Golmud, uses this ultra attack, and it does quite a number on Gabru's people, and he takes his people down. Then he tries to attack again, and we see Rimuru step in and say, no, I took a liking to you, as I said before. I'm going to defend you. And I know deep down he's probably like, this guy, he's not the brightest, but I guess I want to step into this battle, pretty much. But we see Rimuru detain Golmud and basically beat him up, and I'm just like, Rimuru, you don't need to go as hard as you did in the manga. Good lord. It just, I couldn't stop laughing because he just threw him around like a rag doll, pretty much, and he's like, okay, I'll be your friends. Then he turns around, and just, you could see where I thought it was well done. But nonetheless, we see basically Golmo telling Geld that he needs to eat everyone to become this Demon Lord so he could control him. But the thing about Golmud is he's just really offensive to everything, and I'm just thinking, dude, you're gonna tell someone to do something and calling them names? That's not how it works. So Gale said, you know what, I am tired of following him. It is my turn to rise up, and he eats Golmud, and I'm just like, kind of beautiful, or profoundly beautiful. The creation eating the creator, to say the least. But that actually got Gel to turn into the Demon Lord, and it became the Orc Disaster, and he was really powerful. And we see that, they attempt to cut his head off, the good old Onis. I refuse to call them the other thing, because in the manga they were Onis, but we see that he can repair any body part, just like Deadpool, but actually, yeah, just like Deadpool. And basically, they cut off his head, he just puts it back on, and it's fine. Tis a flesh wound, pretty much. But I was just thinking, I would love to have that kind of thing. You kidding me? But basically, it's kind of like a weaker clone of Rimuru, to say the least. Because Rimuru, yeah, he can lose a limb, but he doesn't have any limbs. He's a slime. But when he's in, his humanoid form, yeah, he can regenerate that. I thought it was quite, an interesting thing to see that. But nonetheless, so we see that Ben and Ranga actually start to attack gold, and he survives. Oof, yeah, and he is damaged, so he eats one of his people, and that's a key thing right there, because I think the ending to this was beautiful, to say the least. But we see that Rimuru is actually going to finally join into the fight, seeing that, you know, Ben and Ranga couldn't really take care of it, even though they're wicked strong. Just remember what Ranga did. Just to say the least, you saw what they all did. I think that was a good, in the last episode, a good comparison to see what the Orc Lord's power is, to say the least. He's quite powerful, but that was a very good actual setup. Well done, and just like the manga. But anyways, Rimuru is actually going to fight in auto mode, well, auto battle mode, and we see that, you know, Sage is going to take over, and basically Sage starts, you know, cuts off Geld's arm, and she puts like this, I forgot the name, I think it's Black Fire, and I thought that was really smart, because, you know, if you apply that to someone that can regenerate, they can't really regenerate when that's an issue. So Geld is, I have to admit, he was smart. He just tore off his arm and regenerates everything. He went Super Saiyan there, and he goes and grabs Rimuru in autopilot mode, basically, and, you know, we see the Sage just use that entire fire attack, and we find out Geld's fire resistant. I'm just like, you know, this goes just like the battles I play in The Witcher or any other games that have RPG element. Oh, they're fire resistant. That's good to know. A bit too late, though. But we see Rimuru actually now take control, because he sees that he actually has to fight. He's kind of, the way I see, he's a wholesome version. I think Gig actually said this about the manga, that Rimuru is like a very nice version of Ainz. But we see that Rimuru decides that he'll eat Geld after beating him, and we see Geld start to talk to Rimuru about his sins and how he feels guilty for eating his own and losing to, and putting the sins that he has done on them. But we see Rimuru say, "Don't worry, I will eat you and your sins away." And we see that Geld actually gets his happy ending. And a little tidbit is, he actually was looking out for his people, but Gelmud he was basically the demon of everything that kind of made everything go south. And I just thought the happy ending every time he eats someone, just, I wasn't expecting that. My emotions kind of went woof, kind of thing. But in the nice finish off to this entire episode, as we know, you know, Ben and his people have their contract up with Rimuru, and he asked, "Hey, do you want to stay with us? You can go now." And Ben and the rest decide to stay with Rimuru. I'm just like, okay. That hit me in the heart. Even though I read the manga, it still hit me in the heart, and I love it. I love this anime, at least, if you can't tell. But I thought that was a beautiful ending to the entire thing. And yes, we are on the second part. This is 24 episodes in. I am happy that it's still going, because it's just such a great anime, and I can't wait for more episodes. But anyways, let's talk a little bit quickly about the ending song. They switched up. The opening song is still the same, which I'm happy about. The ending song, that first part just hit me hard. One of my favorite characters besides, you know, Shauna and Sinon is good old Shizu, or Shuzude. And seeing her, knowing what's happened, it's just, you remember, but she didn't go in vain, to say the least. She, you know, provided a lot to Rimuru, and this entire anime sets up everything perfectly. It does a good amount of world building, enough action, enough story progression, all at a perfect pace, instead of, you know, cutting things to rush ahead. Overlord. But overall, this episode was really quite great, and I really can't wait for episode 15. I know Shield Hero, by the way, I do have the review of, well, the first impressions on the first episode, and it was a majority vote, so I did that, and check that out. I am gonna hopefully have a Data Live video. I still don't know if Funimation's gonna carry it. Please tell me, Funimation, are you gonna carry Data Live? Who knows? But back to the slime. Just a well done episode. I know I missed episode 13. I did a little talk about it, but anyways, do share this video. You know, we got to take over YouTube. And a little final thing, I just want to say, my channel's 3 years old now. Well, I went solo after a little while, but right now my channel is 3 years old, and it's just, it's crazy to say the least. I do want to thank everyone that has subscribed and has joined, the Harem fam. Just thank you a whole lot. It means a whole lot that you guys stuck around. I mean, it's crazy to see that 3 years went by so fast and I grew. I never thought I was going to grow. I mean, I still have a picture of me being at 17 subscribers. Just, it's crazy to say the least. But thank you guys anyways. Do consider subscribing, and I will catch you later. This is Austin-Sensei signing out. Peace.